Hey, what's up, Vox&Hops heads? I'm Matt, the vocals of Cryptopsy, and you're listening to my podcast, Vox&Hops, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians to talk about their lives, music, and craft beer. Devastation on the Nation 2020, featuring Rotting Christ, Borknagar, Wolfheart, Abigail Williams, and Imperial Triumphant, starts next Thursday in Berkeley, California. I am so stoked that Devastation on the Nation 2020 is finally here. I have been talking about it for quite a while. This is a tour that you do not want to miss. If you do not have your tickets to the Devastation on the Nation show and you want to go, you better pick it up soon because more shows are close to selling out. More shows are going to sell out. You should absolutely pick up your tickets via the link in the description of this podcast, or you could simply go to metalfestivaltours.com. Devastation on the Nation 2020 is proudly brought to you by Metal Festival Tours, Continental Touring, and the Vox&Hops podcast. Trust me, this is a tour that you do not want to miss. Also coming up next week, we have the very first Vox&Hops Devastation on the Nation craft beer party, which is happening in Vancouver, BC at Jackalob's Neighborhood Dive. This is a pre-show party. It starts at 4 p.m. It runs till 7 p.m. You should go there, get properly prepared for this year's Devastation on the Nation by drinking some craft beer alongside other Vox&Hops heads, some of the Devastation on the Nation crew and band members. You should all go out, be together, enjoy life, metal, and craft beer before Devastation on the Nation at the Rickshaw Theater. I wish I could be there, but sadly I can't. But trust me, I will be celebrating alongside all of you Vox&Hops heads back home here in Montreal. I am super stoked. I'm also super proud to announce that to coincide with Cryptopsy's performance at this year's Manitoba Metal Fest, which is taking place on April 17th and April 18th in Winnipeg, Manitoba, I have a very special announcement. The Thursday before, on April 16th, I will be in Winnipeg, and I am hosting another live Vox&Hops interview with Sam Policelli, better known as Samus, from his very popular metal and comedy YouTube channel. I am super stoked about this event. It is happening at Sucrum's Brewing Company. Everyone that's going to the Manitoba Metal Fest in Winnipeg, you come out early. You come there on the Thursday. You come to the pre-fest party at Sucrum's, and you watch me interview Samus. I'm super stoked about this. I'm so happy that it worked out. Huge shout out to Corey Thomas for helping me hook this up. Much love and respect, brother. I'm super stoked about this.
Hi, this is Enrico from Hideous Divinity, and you're listening to Vox&Hops.
Hey, thank you so much, Enrico. I had such a great chat with Enrico the other day when they came through town alongside Vader, Abysmal Dawn, and Vitriol. So great to sit down with a fellow vocalist that really knows what he's doing, the whole science behind the vocals. I can't wait to share this episode with you. It is coming up next week. I'm super stoked about it. On today's episode, I am with Sean Hynes of Ingested. Here it is, Vox&Hops, episode number 116.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm with Sean Hynes from Ingested, and you are completing my Ingested trifecta. You are the final member of Ingested. I have got you all. I'm super stoked.
Good to be here.
Yes.
You got to catch them all.
You got to catch them all.
The latest and the greatest.
Why did I keep you for last is the question.
That is because it's me. Look at me. I'm genius.
Let's just start right at the beginning. I want to hear your version of a story that Sam told me. The skateboarding outside the house story. What is your side of that story, how you met him?
It depends which one he's talking about specifically. I mean, I remember the first time I saw him, he was skateboarding outside my house. I remember looking out the window and thinking, he's this little dickhead. Do you know what I mean? That's the first time I seen him. I don't particularly remember the first time I spoke to him. But that's definitely the first time I saw him and I thought, I'll use this kid on this skateboard. I'll show him. Type thing going on.
Because you want it to be just as good or better?
I don't know. I feel like what I thought back then is now what I still think now. We're always kind of like, oh, come on, it's him. It's get better. It's like a brotherly thing. It's like my little brother.
You have a band of original members.
Yes. Well, yeah. We've lost some weight, but,
Can we touch on that?
Yeah, sure.
Because I touched on it in the previous episode and I edited it out.
Why?
I didn't know if I could. So
okay.
I always, for everyone listening at home, I always edit my podcasts to shine the best light on my guests because they are my brothers and I love them. Let's touch on the fact that you are touring without a bassist right now.
Yeah, and since June, so it's been a while.
Crazy.
Yeah. Jay saw it coming, apparently. He turned around and said to me, I don't think he's going to do it much longer. We were basically setting up for our visas for the Spies Icon tour, and he basically just texted through and said, when is it, how long is it? And we said this, and this, and he said, don't get it for me. I don't want another year's more commitment in the band. And we're like, all right, cool. And he just said he needed to work, he needed to make more money. Obviously touring's brutal, you don't make much money. And that was it. He stuck around for 2 tours, and then the Cryptossi tour was one of the last ones, and then there was one afterwards, and then that was it. But I mean, if you remember,
we toured in May.
Was it May?
Yeah.
But then we had one afterwards.
You did like a festival run.
Yeah, there was a festival run, but I mean, even on the tour we did with you guys, like, he was nowhere to be seen. Like,
He was very quiet.
He did the show straight upstairs into the bunk, and that was it. So I mean, I just think he was done with the whole thing, which is fair enough.
You can as long as they're honest and upfront, you can never get mad at a.
Not everyone's built for it. It's a tough
You guys
deal.
you've been going so hard. You guys quit all your day jobs.
Yeah.
You are doing the band as your job now.
Yeah.
What is your side of that? How do you feel about that?
It's demoralizing and exciting at the same time, I guess. You know what I mean? I got used to the paychecks from my normal job, which was nice, but doing this kind of, I like doing it. Obviously, it's one of the main things I consider I'm good at. So why would you not pursue that and try and make it a job? But you know, it gets tough. It gets tough because, especially with the way the band goes, it always feels like a slow progression for us. And it's like baby steps, like we were saying before. We need a little bit more of a, bit of a boost to make it feel more comfortable. Whereas, I mean, it is getting better. I mean, we're getting there. Things are getting better slowly, but we'll see. We'll see how the next album goes, and then hopefully I don't have to get my ear chewed off by my girlfriend about how much little money I'm bringing home. So,
what are some of the limitations holding Ingested back, do you think?
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's limitations. I don't know. It could be many things. We've never been a hype band, so I guess that could be part and parcel of it. You'll see a band that's been going 2 years and just explode for no reason, which may be warranted or unwarranted, who knows. But a band like us, we've always been that kind of grind it out, slow builder, unfortunately. But it's the way it is.
Now you're touring the States as a headliner.
Yep.
How does that feel?
Like a lot of responsibility, to be honest, because it's like if the package is strong and stuff, but if the turnouts suck, and you're like, it's our fault. No one's coming because of us. You know what I mean?
I always feel the same when I'm a headliner.
Yeah,
it's your name that's going to be in the promoter's mind if he's losing money at the end of the night to pay you out.
But the European side of it, because we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary of our first album, that side was great. So we came into this run with some sort of confidence going on. I mean, yesterday was fine. The day before was fine. We'll see.
Montreal never disappoints. It's going to be a good night.
Yeah.
We were just delivered a beautiful beer. We are at Le Saint-Bock Brasserie Artisanale, one of my favorite places in Montreal to come drink some craft beer. If you are downtown looking for some craft beer, you should absolutely come here. I asked you, what style of beer do you want? Something fruity?
Yep. And then I have this. You spoke French. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to drink it anyway.
It is their Saison Rouge. It is a Red Saison style beer. It clocks in at a nice level 5%. Let's see what it's got. Cheers. It's good. Nice. It's almost a little bit floral. Smooth. Clean.
Tastes good to me, but then again, I don't have the palate for it. So whatever.
You know that I'm a craft beer enthusiast, hence the podcast.
I've heard you say it once or twice.
Are you a craft beer enthusiast?
Not particularly, no. But I've got nothing against it. I've got nothing against any alcohol. That's the problem. I just haven't developed a taste for it.
Let's touch on that. Let's touch on Ingested likes to party.
It has been known in the past
that you guys are a tight-knit group, been together for so many years, 12 years. Probably 13 at this point.
I think we're 14 this year.
Unbelievable.
Maybe. Yeah, 14 this
There's
year.
been some nights of overindulgence on all your parts.
Yes.
But take me back to your first beer.
Ooh. Wow. That is a tough one. I remember a story my dad told me. I think the first alcohol drink I ever had was brandy.
Really?
Yeah. Obviously, when I was a kid, Father Christmas, you put out, a carrot for Rudolph and a drink for Santa Claus. Apparently, I just necked it. I was about 3 or 4 years old. So apparently, that's the first thing I ever drank was brandy. As far as beer goes, it would have been because my auntie owned a lot of pubs, so she was around the country, opening pubs and owning pubs and stuff. So it would have been something completely normal, like a pint of Foster's or something along them lines.
Something
just
very, very, very British.
Very British, very
hand-pumped.
normal, very bland.
Let's talk about the writing process for Ingested.
Yes.
When I spoke to Sam, he told me that you handle all the tracking. How do you feel about that decision? How did that conversation go down? Was it an easy one?
Yeah, of course it is. We've done this process so many times now, doing the same thing. You learn what's good and what's not good to do. I remember when we did our third album, The Architect of Extinction, and when we were tracking the guitars, I'd go in and do my stuff, he'd do his stuff, and I remember our producer at the time showing us the take count, and his were at least double to mine. And at that, because it's nothing against his playing, because he's a great player, but he just gets a bit flustered in the studio, and to be fair, it's it's one of those sort of environments that are quite difficult at times, especially when at that time we'd have like 12 days to do the record, and then it's like, so you got to get it done. So I've just always been a comfortable guy at tracking. So eventually it came to the point where we realised we didn't have to do the guitars in the studio, we could go home and do it. And the natural choice would be for him to record, because I know absolutely nothing about computers. So he'd track me and I'd just play, and that's it.
It's almost like you guys are like a duo that were meant to be together.
It seems that way, yeah. I'd say so.
Just imagine that he didn't move onto your street, How would you guys have met?
Jesus, I don't know. I don't think I'd be doing music.
Really?
I mean, maybe in a small capacity, but not to what it is now, because my brother's a guitar teacher. And so I was having this conversation today actually with someone where someone asked me how long I've been playing for, and I've been playing since I was 15, whereas my brother was like 8 years old. I just had no interest. But I met Sam. He was playing guitar. My brother was playing guitar, so I just kind of like, I'll try and play some bass and we'll do something. And it's kind of the way it went. I eventually stuck at it. It sucked for a long, long time. I mean, I don't think I'm particularly that good now, but I just stuck with it, and then we developed what we did, which is playing death metal.
That friendly competition, is it something that stuck between you guys?
I mean, it was there at the start, I guess. He was always, because he had lessons and stuff, and I always remember he could do a lot more chords and stuff, and he's got a lot more theory than I have anyway. And so I was always behind with that, but I'd end up like learning things quicker than him, like little things like learning how to pinch harmonic. And I started picking up little techniques like that where he'd be like, oh, you're getting good, do you know what I mean? Like, and then eventually you just develop your own style. I think a lot of it, and they'd say it, there's a lot of it's to do with OCD with me, where it's like, it's got to be like this, it's got to be this way. And I eventually got good, and this is what it is now. This is what you hear.
Ta-da!
With a pinch harmonic every now and then.
Your brother,
Yes.
older than you.
Yeah, 18 months.
How does he feel about what you've done? Him being a guitar teacher, starting so much more before you.
Yeah.
How did that go down, that you got into a successful band and he hypothetically hasn't yet?
Truth be told, he's never really had that conversation. I feel like I remember going and seeing his bands play locally, and it's one of those things. I ended up finding my own lane. I think there might be something in the back of his mind that's like, oh, no ways he managed to do this. It's something I wanted to do, the band thing and tour and all that sort of thing, but it just didn't work out for him. He did certain things. He's he writes good music when he did, and he still kind of does it a bit now. He's slowing down a bit, but it's a completely different genre to what he was trying to do, you know? This is kind of like indie rock, and I want to be in a death metal band. I mean, the success he wanted against what I have is completely different. Our success isn't really measured that way.
No, it's on a totally different level.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, for him to be successful, it has to be stratospheric, whereas, you know, I'm in Montreal, that's pretty cool. I'm from Manchester, do you know what I mean? And it's like, people ask you, do you play to big crowds and stuff like that? No, not really. We don't really at all, but...
Depends what your perspective is.
That's it. That's all it is. It is perspective. I would say what I do and what Ingested do, there's a level of success there, because we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. We're not at the level of success where we're like, oh great, I'm going to buy a car. But, you know, I could at least look back at... If it doesn't go any further than this, the band did find some sort of level of success. I mean, it's like, how many tours of America we've done now? 5 or 6? And we're headlining now and stuff, so it's like we've done something, and it's like, you tick off these little boxes when you start in a band, and it's like, I ended up ticking most of the boxes now by this point. It's like, I remember getting an album going, I wish I could have an album in H&V, which is the music store in the UK.
Also in Canada.
Yeah,
yes.
I still got it here.
Yeah.
And it was
no, it was closed, actually. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's dying out.
It's where I used to go buy my CDs. Yes.
But 10 years ago, 12 years ago, our first album came out, and it was sold in H&V, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. It's unbelievable.
I made it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I remember when we did that, we specifically put our band photo on the back of the CD, so like I could go in there and go, it's my face it's my face in H&V, do you know what I mean? And weirdly enough, I got a Christmas time job at H&V, and I ended up selling my own album to someone.
You recommended it?
No, the guy came up like, it's complete freak. Like, it was Christmas time, it was busy, all the queues were taken, and this guy came up to me, came to my till, and it took me a second to realise that what I had in my hand. I was like, oh no way, this guy's buying my album.
You're like,
and I was like, I turned it around and I pointed at my own face and I went, I know this guy. And he goes, do you?
That's
so
hilarious.
I scanned it, put it in the bag and gave it to him, and he walked off, but one of his mates behind him looked at me and went, yeah, that's me, that. So yeah, successful.
Christian Donaldson worked at HMV for a long time.
Did he really?
He really did. Yeah.
Wow.
How easy is that choice to go and keep coming back to Chris for the mixes?
He gets better every time.
Everyone at home, Ingested has been working with Christian Donaldson, the Cryptopsy guitarist, the producer from The Grid, Montreal, and he has 3 times now mixed something for you guys?
Let's work this out.
No, because he remixed something too.
EP. Revered by None, Feared by All, he did that. That's the first thing he did. That was 2013.
Really? Okay.
He did Architect of Extinction, he did Lovable Human, and now he's done the new one, so it's our fourth record with him, technically.
How easy is that decision to just keep going back to him?
You end up working a certain way with someone once you get comfortable with them. It's easy because it's like, I remember when we did Lovable Human, just the amount of work he put into it and the extra mile that he went, and it's like I don't think he'd be mind me saying this, but I think we've both grown together, working together, and then, you know, step ups every time we do it. So, you know, the product that he produces, and obviously we're all working within budget, and for us it's an ideal situation. Like, he gives us a good price for the work that he does, you know, and that's it. And his records get better, as you'll hear on the new album, because the production is monstrous.
I know that he loves you guys and supports you guys fully. He's a huge fan. He pushed to have you on the tours that we were together.
Yeah, it's great working with him. I can't see he's going anywhere else. At this point in our careers, what's the point?
Absolutely, yes.
We both work well.
Take me back to you as a child, growing up in your house.
Yep.
What was the soundtrack to your youth? What music was playing in your house when you weren't in control of choosing the music?
Well, my dad has worked in radio all my life.
That's true, yes.
So there was a lot of records at my house, man. Like, maybe 1,000 records. Like Motown records.
Just like a plethora of choices.
Yeah, but I don't remember ever getting specifically attached to anything that when my dad would play. You know, he'd play things, but I remember, like, some of the earliest things I remember liking was Peter Gabriel. I mean, probably because of the video.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Of course.
I remember that. I remember liking that. I remember liking Michael Jackson. That was there. There was a big deal going on. But he'd get sent all sorts of CDs from work, and he'd come through the house, and you just end up picking up stuff and checking it out. And I think he must have realised early on that I was liking weirder stuff, like slightly different stuff. And my big love as a kid was The Prodigy.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it just exploded. So, you know, my brother was like the Beatles, and I was The Prodigy, like completely different, you know, opposite ends of the scale. But as far as the metal thing goes, I mean, The Prodigy's extreme in its own way, so
absolutely.
It was always going to go down.
And the visuals too.
Exactly.
And that video was disturbing. Yeah.
It was always going down a certain avenue, and funny enough, that was the first show he ever took me to. It was a Prodigy concert in 1994.
Wow! Oh shit! How old were you? Yeah, I wanted to say. Yeah.
So it was pretty wild. But as far as metal goes, I remember picking up a CD. He had a couple of singles by a band called Clawfinger. Clawfinger.
No recollection.
The single was called Pin Me Down. White Zombie, Astro Creep 2000. That was in the house. Astro Creep 2000 by White Zombie was there. And there was a compilation CD that he got, a Kerrang compilation CD that he went, oh, you like this? So I put it on. And it had like Machine Head on there, Biohazard, Body Count, and I guess that's around 94, you could say.
That's early. Yeah.
That's where I started liking it. Oh, and the Beavis and Butthead experience.
All through your dad?
Yeah, well, the CDs that were there, like, and I like Beavis and Butthead as well, and they play a lot of metal music on the TV show and stuff.
Of course, yes.
So, yeah, early 90s was metal. But the Prodigy took over quite a lot of the youth, but the metal stamp was still there.
Having toured with you guys, I know that you guys still listen to a lot of electronic music.
Yeah.
So it didn't go that far, you know?
Yeah.
The Prodigy is still stuck with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
At what point and what day is there going to be like a meld and have a bit more electronic elements
in Ingested?
In Ingested.
I can't ever see that being a thing, if I'm honest.
I like the honesty.
Yeah. We're a guitar band, man. That's the way it's always going to be. You know what I mean? Besides, I wouldn't know how to incorporate that myself. The person who, if there was anyone who was going to incorporate that kind of side of things, would be Sam, because he's a computer guy.
That's right.
I just pluck strings with loads of distortion.
How do you go about writing new music? Where do the ideas come from? Is it the riff in your mind first, or does it always come from a guitar?
No, I don't. It'll be very, very rare occasion where I get a riff in my head.
Okay.
I mean, it would maybe be like a slam or a breakdown or something like that, but you just mess around. My approach to writing songs these days has changed slightly. I think if you look back in our previous work, it's chaotic. There's a lot of riffs going on. You know, there's no straight line. It's just ferocious and just a million riffs in one. Whereas now, I seem to find a certain motif, a certain key. If I like a certain riff, I'll try and write things that come off that, so it at least sticks around the same thing. It's not, doing left turns every 2 seconds. And I used to time myself. I used to say if we got a certain amount of a song down, I'd go, it's 3.5 minutes. We need to wrap it up. We kind of stick within
in a box.
Yeah.
Limit yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas now I'll just let it do organically, and it's like I know the song's over, and then if it's 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. If it's 6 minutes, whatever.
That's cool.
It's just the way it is.
I feel like you guys got more adventurous on the EP that you guys put out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that some of those elements stuck around.
Yeah.
On the new record.
Yeah. I mean, the EP was a nice package of its. It fits well together with the way it is. The new material, you're definitely going to hear that. It's catchier. There's a lot of slower parts. There's darker melodies still going on. There's a lot. People who like the EP will like what we've done. There's still those strong death metal elements that we've done before, but you're going to hear that slow, dark melodic. Things running through it. You'll like it.
You guys tend to write the catchiest breakdowns.
Yeah.
What is the pressure like when you're coming to write a new record to top a previous riff or a previous?
I never look at it that way.
There's always more.
Yeah, I never look at it that way. I don't think we need to top this breakdown. I just feel if a breakdown if we put a breakdown in song, it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
rely heavily on it. There'll be songs that'll stay at 270 and won't have it in there. It's just the way it is. But, you know, if we're going to put one in there, it's got to be there for a reason. It's got to come in at a right point, and it's got to mean something. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you put in like 4 or 5 breakdowns in one song, what's the point? You know what I mean? It needs to come in like a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it for me,
It all
really.
depends on the song.
Never try and top it. There's no point.
Let's touch on Juggernaut Brew Company making an ingested beer.
Oh, yeah.
Huge shout out to Jason Stevenson, Vox&Hops alumni, the very first Vox&Hops Metal Brewer Talks
Nice.
guest. He's making you a brew. Let's talk about that.
Apparently so, yeah. Apparently so.
You don't know what it is, do you?
I've seen the label. I
Let's
know
talk
the
about
label
it.
looks like.
Tell me what the label looks like.
I know it's brown and it's got and it's red. It's got
I've heard that it has cherries in it.
cherry and almond, and I know it's 9%.
I've heard it's heavy, yeah.
I know it's 9%. It's got our logo on it. I think it's called after one of the songs on the new album.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Cool, so you're going to use it to push the album.
Yes, hopefully it'll work within the time frame that we have.
It's crazy how everything has to just line up just right.
Yeah. I'll tell you what the beer's called. It doesn't matter. I don't care. It's called No Half Measures.
No half measures, so
Yeah.
everything's all in.
There you go.
Just like Ingested.
That's why it's 9%.
You guys are all in all the
There
time.
you go.
Yeah. You're about to have twins.
Yes, I am.
How are you feeling at this moment? Anticipating the change that's coming in your life.
I think I will need more diapers than my twins. I am shitting my pants. No, it's fine though. No, I'm excited. It's going to be amazing, surely. Of course, staring at my own children, something I've created.
Jason and I spoke a bit about being touring fathers.
Yep.
How are you going to handle that? Have you told the band, I did this?
Yeah.
As soon as I knew Jessica was pregnant, I said both times, I'm not available these months.
They know I can't. Because the twins, we know more specifically when they're going to come.
It'll be a bit earlier, too, almost.
They're going to be early.
Yeah.
They're going to be early. They've got a certain window where they're going to be born, and they know I can't do anything. Unfortunately, it's around the time of Hellfest. So we'll see how that goes.
Which you're booked on.
Yes. So
Are you going to go if it comes down to that?
if you can book dates, there's like a week where you can book the actual day where you can have your children. If it gets to the point where everything's all good and we can pick the date, then yes, I will go to Hellfest and play that show. If not, then it is what it is. And then
What would the band do, though? Are you going to go with one guitar?
we'll have to have a backup,
fill-in?
after
Yeah.
someone filling out. We can't
Okay.
do a 3-piece. That's going to look ridiculous. You know what I mean?
I agree.
2 things being backtracked. You can't do that. So yeah, I've said I can't really do anything in June. No, not June. July. I'll have July off because I mean, if it was one child, then I could come back to work early. But there's 2, so we don't really know how it's going to pan out. And
Having had young children, it's that first few
Yeah.
months is intense.
yeah, and now there's 2, so
Yeah,
that's going to be
times 2.
It's going to be insane. So yeah, I'm hoping to get back to work August. But, you know, we're not got any solid plans for the summer, so...
Well, you
It
will.
is.
When's this new album dropping?
June, we think.
You're going to be busy.
We are going to be busy. Yeah. I'm going to be busy. It's going to be exciting June for me.
3 babies.
3 babies. But to be fair, though, my partner has a 5-year-old, so I've dealt with being away.
Yeah, being a tour dad.
Yeah, you know, I do have some experience of it.
What's the hardest thing?
It's not being there, you know, when they need you and stuff. And when obviously she's not mine by blood, but when you hear her say, "I miss your daddy," you're like, "Oh, whoa, okay, right, that does suck." But you know, it's the one thing I'm good at, and it's the way I make my living, unfortunately. And whether or not that'll change when my twins turn up, you know, I might go, I can't leave these. I can't do the music thing, or it might make me more determined. to do better and be, make them proud, like have some sort of legacy to give them, and they'll see what I did and stuff. So all that's to be determined. We'll see. I don't know.
I always wonder if my kids will ever understand what we've done.
I don't
or
think
care.
Do you know what?
Or even care.
In 15 years' time, I'll go, look at this. There's all this is what I've done. There's all the tour passes, the tour posters, the CDs, and they go, oh, that's great, Dad. Well done.
I think the same thing.
I feel like that's going to happen.
But it's very important to us right now, that's for sure.
We'll see in 15 years' time, Matt. That's what we'll see.
Matthew. Yeah.
See, I was trying to be nice for your podcast listeners.
No,
I do like calling you Matthew, though.
He calls me Matthew, and
I do.
I've taken a liking to it.
Because I'm comfortable with you, Matthew.
When you tour with a brother, you become family forever.
Yeah. People don't understand that. Some people understand that, though.
Yeah, it's just easy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're all suffering together.
And people go, why do you do it then? It's not really a straight answer for that, is it?
The addiction.
Yeah, something about it. We do suffer. Jesus. We do suffer.
It's the addiction of the crowd.
Yeah.
The fact that we've taken a passion and made it a career.
Yep. Well, we're trying. Try every day.
Hey, there's no half measures, brother.
There you go. There you go. I wish I'd picked something other than death metal sometimes, but hey ho.
It's never too late. Sean, thank you so much. Coming, drinking a beer with me. Vox&Hops, completing my Ingested lineup. All Vox&Hops alumni. I owe you guys something. I mentioned when I interviewed the agonist.
Okay.
I was missing Paco. And I said, when I interview Paco, I'm going to have to give, because I give shirts to all my guests.
Yes.
But when I do a whole band, you guys deserve something more. I don't know what it is. If you guys have ideas at home, please let me know. Cheers, Sean. Thank you so much.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you all so much for listening right to the end. You know that I love and appreciate that. I love Sean Hynes. He's so funny. So much fun just to be around. I can't wait to get out there on the road again alongside Ingested. I've had the pleasure of touring with them twice, and I can't wait to do it again. Much love and respect, Sean. Can't wait to cross paths again. As always, the best way to support the Vox&Hops podcast is via the Vox&Hops Big Cartel page. Everything that I receive there is always greatly appreciated. There would be no Vox&Hops podcast without all you Vox&Hops heads. This past week, I placed the order for the Vox&Hops Enjoy Life Metal and Craft Beer Zip-Up hoodie. I'm so stoked to receive these so that I can ship them out to all you Vox&Hops heads that picked one up. Much love and respect. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you have a great week after that. But always remember to enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. Cheers, Vox&Hops heads.